And this is the Y'all Show, talk with a Southern accent. John Rawl here with you as we start another segment. And here on the show that's all about the South, we promise you a good time. We promise you from time to time we're going to bring on music acts. We promise to do our best. But one thing we ain't ever promised is we hadn't promised y'all a rose garden. And yeah, that the great Lynn Anderson song. We haven't promised a rose garden, but we are promising to bring on to the Y'all Show a special guest, and that's Lynn Anderson's daughter, as Lisa Sutton is going to be joining us right this very moment from Nashville to honor her late mother and tell about some great releases that are coming from Lynn Anderson digitally, if you haven't had a chance to do, and a bunch of other rose stuff. We got Mother's Day just a few days away, and what a perfect time to bring on to the Y'all Show. Again, Lynn Anderson's daughter, Lisa, coming on right now to the Y'all Show. Hello, welcome into the show, Lisa.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But howdy, y'all. That's one of my favorite words. So I feel like I'm on the right show today. But let's fix that real quick. I couldn't hear you at all.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to welcome you to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. This is a treat.
It is a treat. It's a treat to have you on board and to honor your mother who, well, let's just say she was a carpetbagger. She was born in North Dakota, raised in California, then came to the Nashville area and made a huge presence. So a good,
Right.
Maybe the only country singer I've ever heard of from the great state of North Dakota that has made it in country music. Are you aware of others?
And you blipped you're asking me about her cowgirl background?
No, being
Right.
from North Dakota.
Oh, yeah, well, now, Lawrence Welk was from North Dakota, but of course he didn't come to Nashville and make it as a country star. But yeah, North Dakota, mom is probably one of the few.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she is. I mean, from what I can gather, I don't even know. I don't think South Dakota's doing too much from a country music standpoint.
There's they've been putting together a Hall of Fame that is the Dakotas.
Oh, really?
So they've approached me about that to do an honor on a Walk of Fame there that would honor Mr. Welk and Mom, and there was another name or two. One, I should know that because there are a few other people from the Dakotas. I'll know that.
Well, we're glad that your mom did end up coming to country music and coming to Nashville. Now, Lynn Anderson, we lost her about, 4 years ago now?
Sorry, I couldn't
What
hear
what
that
year did we
again.
lose your mom?
It's been 4 years
Yeah, okay.
now.
Okay.
So 2015.
Okay. So, yeah,
So it'll be 5 this
Yeah.
summer. Yeah.
and,
July 30th.
and you're doing a good job keeping her memory alive. We're talking with Lisa Sutton, the daughter of Lynn Anderson, on today's Y'all Show. And your mom, yeah, and I'm sure your mom happy about that. In fact, if you're able to watch us right now on Facebook, we encourage you, if you have a question about Lynn Anderson or want to ask Lisa a question, feel free to drop us a comment here and ask right now on the Y'all Show. We appreciate y'all joining us. In fact, Lisa, there in the background, you've got some of your mom's memorabilia and some outfits and more. We've got some really cool stuff that we'll talk about. In fact, go ahead if you want to brag on what you see there behind you. Let us know what are we looking
Well,
at?
I was laughing at all this, everybody's staying at home and doing the quarantine thing. It's actually kind of a dream come true in the light of a terrible problem in the world. But for me, I'm kind of sitting here getting ready to go through a lot of mom's things. It's she traveled the world and she had a lot of gorgeous outfits and she had style and the wherewithal to wear these gorgeous things and places to go in them. So we worked real hard with the Country Music Hall of Fame on kind of the pieces that will belong there someday. And then the rest of it is in my guest bedroom. So today I just brought out some pieces. I thought, well, if we're getting ready to do radio live with a visual, I would try to make it visual for you.
What about those green shoes over there? I'm sure they.
Pieces I'll be parting with this summer. I'm gonna start trying to do some sales of some things, and some of it my sister and I are going through and trying on and seeing what we can get our butts into. And we're just going to use this year to kind of clean out the closets to celebrate Mom. We're trying to get the music out there.
Tell me about
Hate
those.
that all this has happened. I'm just going to make a public service announcement right now.
Okay.
I am so sorry for just everybody who is going through stuff. I'm sure people are getting furloughed and we're all stuck inside, and we've got it's just such a weird time. So I know I tend to act happy and flippant, and usually I am, but I am God bless everybody, and I just hope everybody's okay out there.
Lisa, while we're looking in the background there, tell me about those green shoes. Do they have a certain story or memory?
So I have these will be going for sale this summer, and what's cute about them is that I parted with a couple of pairs of shoes to one of Mom's fans, and my mom, when she found something she liked or that was comfortable, she would get it in several colors. Right? She had to dress up every day and leave the house, unlike me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to offer these up for sale this summer. So they're just a cute little pair of cork bottom pumps. I don't know if somebody will wear them or if somebody will just kind of want to put them up with stuff. I actually have a picture of her holding them. So things that we part with, I'm going to have a little provenance to it. Oh, thank you for asking. I love them.
and your mom had that Western look. Of course, she was from the West. Who helped with her making of her costumes? Who helped?
Oh, well, as she grew up, my grandmother was definitely a seamstress. Grammy liked to sew and make her stage costumes, and so she kind of got to start with that. Her grandmother, Grace, rode with the Ladies Mounted Posse, and so there was a lot of parading and horse costuming happening at that time. And then I think because Mom was in California and kind of coming up through the ranks there, she ran across Nudie, and Turk and some of those famous designers. I don't have those pieces out here right now because they're packed a little better than everything else. But I've got Turks and Nudies from those days. And so, Mom was kind of coming at the Nashville country music scene from the cowgirl arena scene, and it worked. It really did. It worked.
It did work, and of course, Lynn Anderson.
Hey, and this is a nudie suit right here. So this is one of my favorite. I just love that Mom was always signing autographs, and that's one of the biggest compliments I get from the fans about Mom is that she would stay until the last person was there. She got her juice from that. She loved the fans. And I think there's a part of that with artists that they have to like that. I tend to shy away. I don't, well, I'm getting better about talking, but here she's in her fabulous nudie and it's in the middle of the arena, and then she's walking up to the edge and shaking hands, signing autographs. And guys, I have another picture I was looking at earlier today. So there's a black nudie, and we have a gold, a silver, and a red. I told you, if she liked something and it worked, she bought it in several colors. Can you see that?
I can.
This one here, a fan sent me. He took this picture when he was a kid seeing Mom in Illinois at a rodeo, and I have this outfit.
Do you
really? I'm proud of her wardrobe, and I'm sure that sounds weird to some people, and I'm not bragging about it. It's just they're pieces of history. It's like the songs that my father wrote that my mother sang, and the outfits that designers made that my mother wore. We've got some really neat stuff from the late 60s and 70s that coin a generation or an era to me. Right?
Yeah. And we're looking right now on our television feed of your mom singing from one of the TV shows from the time that she was such a hit maker, and she really had.
That's right, and Michael Dempsey's gonna ID this for us. But I remember that outfit actually, Carolyn Tate and I just found it on eBay and got it back. Isn't that wild? So I guess now I'm collecting too. I'm finding iconic pieces.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that video. I wish I could see that from this side.
Well, let's
I will. I'll be watching it later.
your mom was on a bunch of TV shows. Tell about her role on kind of being a national star. She wasn't just a country singer; she was really a trendsetter.
Well, and what happened there was that when she got picked up for Lawrence Welk, she was the little country girl, on the Lawrence Welk show. Um, so that was a nationally syndicated show, one of the few at the time. Television's becoming a big deal. And so she got that country girl slot, just that one little slot, on the Lawrence Welk show. But it was kind of the first country female to get on a big syndicated show that was normally champagne and bubbles and orchestras and stuff. And I think then by the time she transitioned to Nashville, and my father was really into kind of adding strings and that countrypolitan sound to the recordings, that early TV experience really helped Mom come to Nashville and bring a new sound. She liked doing covers. I'm noticing I've been going back and listening to the stuff Sony now is putting on Spotify. Go search Mom now. There's a lot of new stuff up there, and Sony has taken the time to remaster. It sounds amazing. Thank you, Rob Santos. Oh my God. And we're hoping for more. This is her 50th year, so we're just kind of trying to get Mom in the system for the digital world. But I do think that the Lawrence Welk and that early TV is kind of what made her happen when she got to Nashville.
Yeah.
It set her apart. It set her apart. And so did those rodeo clothes. So did the rhinestones, because I feel like Tammy and Dolly and Loretta, they were making their own outfits, much like my grandmother was. Mom had a little bit of a leg up, kind of coming with already that style and that gown. So, and she had the TV. So even though Dolly and Tammy and all of them were really climbing, when Mom came in and then Rose Garden happened, she had a little bit extra oomph in there that happened for a while.
We're looking now at some video of your mom on the Dean Martin Show, 1972, and even had a chance to.
So good. Is this the one where they're sitting side by side?
This is her singing, then they sit side by side, and I'm sure that was a great memory of one of her career highlights.
I wish I had that dress. Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, maybe that will show up on eBay too. Yeah, but
I probably shouldn't talk over the video, right?
No, that's okay.
Watch it when I talk.
Your mom obviously going to Hollywood and seeing these great stars and more. Rose Garden, such a monster hit back in 1972 and 1971 when it was the number one. And I saw somewhere she was, help me out here, we're talking with Lisa Sutton, daughter of Lynn Anderson on today's Y'all Show. Rose Garden and your mom, Lynn Anderson, she was the first country music woman to have a platinum record or something like that. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then she's first female to sell out Madison Square Gardens.
Yes. She
was one of the first to have that big pop transfer over from country. Mom opened she busted a lot of ceilings for the ladies for sure.
She did
And do you know that Rose Garden was her 19th studio record? She had 18 full-length releases up until then. A lot of people want to say Rose Garden's her first big song, but no, she'd been working for a decade to finally get the one that would pop.
Yeah, she had a top five with If I Kiss You.
If she hadn't had that groundwork under her and had Rose Garden, would it have had the same reach?
Yeah. Well, back in 67, she had a top five with If I Kiss You, and that, again, on Chart Records, helped get her career going, and she had, like you said, a bunch of records. In fact, she had a total of, 22 albums total in her career?
She had 52 full-length albums released.
I was just a little off.
But the number you're thinking is 22 are with Chart and Sony.
Oh. Okay.
So, but the other ones, she still went on to release records and stuff. So we're working right now with Sony, but yeah, over 50 records. It's her 50th anniversary of Rose Garden. So we're claiming 1970 to 2020 as our Rose Garden year. We're going to pay homage, but there were also 50 other records I'm I'm trying to get out there. Half that stuff, like I said, was written by my grandmother or my dad. I want to make sure it's in the digital world. Right now, it's just sitting in vinyl on my shelf.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's going to hear it there. I mean, it sounds really good in vinyl on my shelf, but Sony's making it sound better and getting it further.
One of those records she had, not just Rose Garden was great, but she had songs like How Can I Unlove You, an awesome song
Another
there.
Joe South.
Just after that, and so many records from Lynn Anderson. We're talking with Lisa Sutton, her daughter, in Nashville right now, having a great time. And speaking of Lynn Anderson music, one reason we have Lisa on today is there's about to be a lot of digital options, albums that haven't been available if you're a Lynn Anderson fan for forever. And now we've got some digital options. We even have a new vinyl option, Lisa. So tell us about what's going on.
Hey, let me hold up. I brought visual accoutrement for our morning. Because I talked to the record pressing plant yesterday, I have been very excited about re-releasing the actual Rose Garden record on a new vinyl. A new vinyl that happens to be...
Ooh, man, that's pretty.
Isn't that nice? And this color they really haven't used before. And pink's kind of a color, you know, Mom liked pink, and her roses are pink. And so we're really trying to emulate a 50th anniversary. Clive Davis wrote a liner note for the inside, and so did Miss Reba McEntire. It's going to be the same front cover, but there's a lot of fun new perks on the inside. I have my little fancy mailer. I'm ready to ship them out to you. They'll be on our website, LynnAndersonRoseGarden.com. The J. Buck Ford, Tennessee Ernie Ford's son. I bet he's watching. Hey, J. Buck, how's my background look? But anyway, Buck did the website. And so he's really been helping me tell the story of Mom. So go check the website out. We're putting a lot of neat stuff on there right now.
All
We're
right.
going to try to really expand on the discography pages and add stories over time. I've got neat pieces of paper and letters from other famous people of the day congratulating Mom and Dad on getting married, or I don't know. That website now, Buck has made me a little nest so that I can just take my time and over the years spread the joy of Mom. And if Sony keeps helping me spread the digital, I mean, I couldn't be happier this year in light of everything else that's going on.
Talking with Lisa Sutton here on today's Y'all Show. And Lisa, I want to ask you, you just mentioned Tennessee Ernie Ford's son there.
I didn't hear him.
Is there a fraternity or sorority of the children of famous country music singers in Nashville?
Yes. Yes, there is, by John. They're the sons and daughters, the legends of country music royalty, right? So it's me and Melissa Lumen Phillips and Robin and Alana Young. Melissa Lumen is Bob Lumen's daughter, and Robin and Alana are Farron's kids, and Georgette's in there. Dean Miller, Roger's kid. There's a couple hundred of us, you know. We've got a little group, so we can sit over there and burn it up about stuff. They were getting ready to do their show. They always do a cool show. My sister was going to sing Rose Garden on it this year for the 50th anniversary, and they've had to cancel.
Man, that's awful.
So we might have to make Bunny come over here and sing it live on our... Everybody else is doing in-home stuff, right? We'll get Skipper and Bun Bun together and sing Rose Garden for Mom. Yeah. But yes, there are a lot of us kids floating around trying to tell the story of our parents.
Well, that's awesome.
And some are working in their own right. Some are, you know, completely married and children, but we all have this unique bond. You know, we're all, I don't know, there's a symmetry to our kidhood.
Well, I'm glad I asked the question.
Like having a big therapy group.
Unfortunately, your mom passed away, so we can't talk to her, so we're talking to you, and I have never really talked to too many children of famous artists because oftentimes they're not really willing to come out and talk because they have their own lives, but we're glad that you took time to do that. One way you're also honoring your mother is through a new rose that's coming out, as well as
Right.
the Lynn Anderson Rose Garden at where she is in eternal rest. Tell us about both of those projects.
Okay. So, I think the mom's flower, her rose, is for me. Yeah, it's hard to live up to all this musical and things like that. That's that's not that's great, but it's not physical. And me, I'm a garden girl. I'm a yard girl. I'm a horse girl. I want to get out there and plant stuff and get dirty. I was always a tomboy growing up. So when she passed, Jeff Duffer over at Woodlawn Funeral Home in Nashville, which is on Thompson Lane, and there are all these amazing people that are there. Mr. Jones is there, Tater's there, Jim Ed Brown's there, Tammy's right around the corner from Mom. There's just an amazing array of famous country music people there. And so Jeff really, when Mom passed, he said, hey, we should do something about her rose. And I was so surprised and honored that he remembered that Mom even had a rose. And it planted a seed, not that roses are grown from seeds, but planted a seed. And then Jeff and them have built me a beautiful rose garden. Not me, Mom. I mean, like, the Lynn Anderson Rose Garden will always be the largest collection of her specific hybrid teas. So it took me 3 years to grow these monkeys. I mean, it takes 3 years to start a rose from budwood, genetically splice it into an actual American sturdy root growing stock, and then they've got to cook them in the field out there, and then they ship them to us, and we keep them in the cooler until we can get them in the ground. It's been a massive undertaking and one that's taken a lot of moving parts. And then Woodlawn gave it a home. It's pretty emotional talking about it. It's been one of the best things I will have ever done for my mother, for me, if that makes sense. Like, I love getting all the music out there for my dad and my grandmother, and I'm enjoying going and hearing songs that I didn't hear as a kid, even that my mom sang. But that rose garden, that's going to be there until I die. I mean, that's it, and some I did, so I feel pretty good about it. But anybody who wants a Lynn Anderson rose in their garden can come, and we've got a few left.
Yeah. I was going to ask you what one looks like. Hold that in front of your face if you don't mind.
This is emulating Mom's rose, but it's a cream rose with pink tips.
Okay.
They're a big hybrid tea rose bush. They'll get 8-9 feet tall.
Okay.
Right now we have 50 or so left for Mother's Day, so we're going to have people come pick them up, either from me or Woodlawn. We've got a few left. Next year I've got another batch coming, and that'll probably be the last year. I feel like they are a lot of work. It's a labor of love, and we've got a Facebook group, the Lynn Anderson Rose, and so what's fun is that people who have a piece of Mom, it's like a little rose. They're all over America now. I can kind of say, hey, how's Mom's rose doing in California? Or if I'm feeling bummed out like I was the other day, I went over and sat in the garden of Woodlawn, and her rose is going to be mine.
Is that right?
I think. So.
Well, that is fantastic news. Again, Mother's Day will be here before you know it, so the Lynn Anderson Rose could be
Great
a beautiful.
that they're going to come out of the greenhouse and they're going to be in bloom that week of Mother's Day.
Is that right?
Yeah. Right.
And we also certainly want to remind people about these digital editions of your mom's old work that's available. What's the best way for people to order those?
Okay, so they're available everywhere. So whatever you use, if you use Amazon, if you use iTunes, if you use Spotify, Rhapsody, any of these services, however you listen to your music, Lynn Anderson, you'll find bootlegs on there. Skip through those because Singing My Song just went up, and that's got a plethora of songs on there. The Cry record went up. Listen to a country song and stay there till I get there. Those are produced by my dad. I didn't even pick that, man. When they showed me the first ones they were going to do, and they were all my dad's records, I was like, well, my dad just rose to the top. So that was kind of cool. So these first four, go search them out. I've been Spotifying them today again. Like it just goes through and just plays all of Mom. And she did a lot of covers back then too. I think from being on those TV shows, Mom knew that, and she could pick a song that she knew how to sing. I think Mom was really good. I wish that she would get her butt back here so I could ask her about her techniques sometimes. Like she knew what was sang good for her. And I think my grandfather used to always say, well, we beat it into her head that you have to tell the story, because they were songwriters, so you tell the story. Well, by gum, I mean, Lynn Anderson sings that song, and she just gets me every time. She tells us she can sing it. She delivers something.
Lisa, thank you for coming on today's Y'all Show and talking about your mom and all the stuff going on currently with Lynn Anderson. We may have lost her 4 to 5 years ago, but her memory will live on. One of the great things about recording artists, their work stays with us forever. And we thank you for coming on today's Y'all Show and talking about.
Well, thank y'all. One of my favorite words. I use it all the time. So thank y'all. Goodbye, y'all. Thanks for having me.
All right. Lisa Sutton, again, the daughter of Lynn Anderson, on today's Y'all program. Well, thank y'all for being a part of the program. That will wrap up our conversation here in this segment, and we'll be back with more of the show that's all about the South, some good Lynn Anderson music to take us to break.